Alright, so I watched episode 6 and 7 of the Clone Wars Season 1. If you don't know, I'm doing a review of every single episode as I'm rewatching them since I haven't watched them in quite a few years. So, yeah, I am the one and only person going through every single episode of the Clone Wars, and I'm going to be reviewing them from Season 1 all the way to Season 7. I'm also probably going to review every single Star Wars media that's on Disney Plus just because I'm bored and I just want to watch some Star Wars, basically. But with all that being said, I did watch episode 6 and 7, and I'm kind of reviewing them as a saga. So typically, if there's a storyline amongst like 3 or 4 episodes, I'll probably, review those. I've already got episode 1 through 5 on the channel up. And this saga, I'd like to call the Spy Saga. I know episode 7 was called Duel of Droids. And I think episode 6 was called something something droids, whatever. Basically, the whole saga is just about R2-D2 being lost in wreckage because Anakin Skywalker got a little crazy with his flying. And they get a R3 droid, which is supposed to be better, ends up fucking them over, and then you find out the R3 droid, this little gold bastard right here, is actually a spy working for General Grievous. So this is filler. If you didn't know, this is the definition of filler. I highly rate the previous episodes. This episode I'm gonna rate a little lower, honestly, probably like maybe honestly like a 6 out of 10. It's not perfect. This saga's not perfect. Um, but it makes you appreciate the little things about the Clone Wars. Now, it's very like kid friendly. It's very like kid humor adjacent. It's got like the boss lizard dude. I can't remember their species name. It's got the lizard dude, and he's a little goofy and a little fat and a little bit of an oaf sort of person. And then you have that scene with Anakin faking having a relationship with Ahsoka. A little bit of a weird era we were living in back in 2008. Because I believe she was 16 at the time. Hey, as long as it's pretend, I guess it's fine. But 2008 was just a different era, man. But I did, I did still enjoy watching it. It wasn't painful to watch. It wasn't like hard to get through. It wasn't like a One Piece. Now I sit through 100 episodes of watching episodes written like Caillou. You know what I mean? Like I'm still able to visually see it, and visually I think it's still great. However, I rate this very lowly, only because the humor didn't really hit that well. But on top of the humor parts, which Clone Wars normally does really well, and then this saga didn't do the greatest, um, the animation was very janky in these 2 episodes. I don't know what it was. Maybe they realized they had to save some money for the budget or something. But the animation for most of the characters was just not up to par. Like, it wasn't like what I was used to. And rookies, everything felt fluid. Everything felt like, wow, this aged like fine wine. This one sort of was like what I was expecting the Clone Wars to be. Very like slow, janky movements where it's like it doesn't really make that much sense. Sometimes it cleared up, but And then the other thing you can appreciate from the Clone Wars will always deliver on this, is the visuals, graphically. I think the animation is just like one of those animations that will be around forever. Similar to if you play video games, Borderlands 2, I think those graphics will just be around forever. They're just some of those timeless graphics. It's just some of the good parts about classics. And I think this animation style is very, very good for the franchise. But the third and final thing I would say that I think Clone Wars does well in every single episode, having unique characters. Now, I'm not necessarily referring to R3, and I'm not necessarily referring to the General Grievous that was in this saga. I'm more or less referring to like the little characters you see here and there. Like when Rex drops down with the boys, it's Rex, and then it's another dude with like blue face paint. He looks fucking cool. Um, but he looks like a 501st Trooper, but I've never seen like a 501st Trooper have that design on their helmet. I thought it was pretty cool, very unique. I wish there was a Lego version. There might be. There probably is like a 501st designed Phase 1, maybe. Possibly. I don't fucking know how it works. But I do think it's cool. You know, they're able to incorporate little designs like that. Also the the Bosk enemy race. Jesus Christ, I need to get checked for a speech impediment. But yeah, the Bosk race edition. Even though he's like a fat oaf that, like, you know, as an adult you're just like, hurry up, get off the screen. It's not bad. You know, I like the inclusion because it kind of hints towards where Bosk ends up later in the film, or, like, you know, links the two races basically. At least that's what I gathered from it personally. But yeah, I liked this saga. It wasn't like great. I thought some things were pretty cool, like how I think in episode 6, what basically happened is that the Separatists were going through an asteroid field to get the flank on the Republic cruisers, and they ended up baiting them so far in, and they ended up using the AT walkers on the asteroid field, and the AT walkers were like creeping up behind one of the Separatist starfleets, or one of the Separatist fucking cruisers, and started blasting the engines because they had all their shields focused. You know, they had all their shields focused on the front. It's one thing about the Clone Wars, they always have really good plots. I think everything makes sense, and I think that's why, like, the Clone Wars is so goated. So far there's not been a single moment in any of these episodes where, well, none of this really makes sense, and I don't think would ever happen. You know, like Kylo Ren just taking a lightsaber from, I guess, the Force vision of Rey in The Rise of Skywalker. You know, shit like that doesn't happen in the Clone Wars, where just random shit happens. Most of the things make sense, so I enjoyed it. It was a good saga. Not much to really say about it, to be honest. So, you know, I'll probably end the review here. But, yeah, overall pretty good. I'm going to continue watching it, continue getting through it. This is probably the worst one so far. Yeah, probably like a 6 out of 10, you know. I don't think it's like that shit to be 5. I don't think many Clone Wars episodes will be a 5, or lower. But this one definitely on the lower end, 6 out of 10. But yeah, if you made it to the end of the video and you like the series so far, I want to thank you for watching, making it to the end of this video, and as always, I hope you have a good day.